My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer 5 years ago, which it kind of came as a shock, but in retrospect, we had a family history that dates back to my aunt and my grandmother. And so after my sister got her diagnosis, she decided to do some genetic testing to see if she had an underlying genetic mutation. And when she got the results from that, she found out that she did. And about a year later, I decided to do the same and found out that I had the same genetic mutation. After I got my genetic testing, I was diagnosed with something called CHEK2, which is a genetic mutation sort of in the BRCA family, but a little less common and a little less likely for breast cancer. It also brings with it, if you are a male, prostate cancer, but it also has increased rates of ovarian cancer. I don't know if I was surprised, to be honest. It was a little shocking, just in the sense that you worry about, these thoughts in your mind now of seeing my sister go through her breast cancer and we ultimately lost my aunt. And so it's hard to think about it from that perspective of thinking, okay, there's the potential of having something really serious. To be honest, the thought of not being there for my girls and not being able to help raise them really was the first thing that came to my mind. With my particular case, I had the genetic disposition for breast cancer. I also had the family history. Percentage-wise, I probably was in the high 60s for developing breast cancer. The general population is probably between 8 and 12. And after the surgery, I've reduced my odds to less than 2%. The surgery that I had was a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction. I always had this thought in the back of my mind that, what if I'm running from a monster that doesn't exist? I would remind myself that whether or not that monster was real, it was real to me. And so I didn't want to worry about, every 6 months or every year thinking that this may be the time that it's, my diagnosis. So it was definitely the right decision for us.
From the moment this was brought up to Sandoz, it was a full support of do what you have to do. Your health is so important to us. And it wasn't about jumping through hoops to try to get the time to do it. It was, you got to do it, and we support you in doing that. And from my vantage point, that took a lot off of her mind in terms of stress and stuff like that with her job. There are a few people who I know who would get through this without much complaining, and Jess is certainly one of those. She has been a warrior with every piece of bad news she's received over the course of the last 18 months, from an infection to staying in the hospital for over a week. And that might seem minor to some people, but certainly for us, it was, I don't know if I could have gotten through it without a hiccup here or there. And she went through it without a hiccup. She just said, yep, this is what I have to do. This is how I have to address it. Jess has been an amazing role model before and after surgery. I've always said to her that, I hope our kids grow up to be her and to be in her image and likeness, certainly, and someone who throughout this, I think as her kids get older and recognize what she has done, and certainly our oldest daughter understands.
I do want to be like my mom, because she is a brave person and she's so funny and she's got so many good personality traits that I would love to have, and she's just a great person, and I want to be like that when I get older.
I've been so vigilant about making sure that, there are no infections and doing everything just right and adhering to the rules, and I feel like it's finally paid off, right? I feel like I can finally put it behind me. I don't want to think about it anymore. I just want to move forward.